What is going on, you guys? Boss stands tall here, and it delights me to say that we are finally back to my WWE 2K14 universe. Now, I know 2K15 is out, and, I know that everything is not as current as it could be, but we're just going to have to deal with it for a little while, and I'm not going to get too excited yet, because I did purchase a new PVR, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to lag or not. I expect it to lag just a little bit, at least on this thing, because like it has been, a little bit slower than usual, but yeah, see, it's going a little bit slower right now, but I assume that we shouldn't have too many problems when it actually gets to YouTube. If it does, then I'll have to take care of it, but yeah, it's quite slow right now, but I'll just find stuff to talk about throughout the match. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. I just won't really focus too much on the actual match. But as you guys can see, we do have Perfection Squared taking on the Rhodes family. Perfection Squared being Curtis Axel and his father, Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. And that'd be the reason for the name. For those of you who weren't sure what the reason for the absence was, my PVR did break down, and I had to get a new one. For whatever reason, I'm not really sure why it broke down, but for some reason it did, and I had to kind of get a new one and reset the whole thing. But the one thing that I haven't been able to do was fix the input resolution of the video. So right now it's trying to play in 1280 by 720, and that's not what I want at all. I wanted it to be 720 by 480 like the other ones, so that's why it's behaving quite slowly. And I don't know, the output resolution to YouTube is fine, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem when it gets to YouTube. However, recording it and doing all this stuff is a little bit of a hassle. Now, what I would like to tell you guys is I have purchased a PlayStation 4 and I have purchased WWE 2K15 for it, so that should be going up soon. I plan on doing all kinds of stuff like plan on doing a career mode for that game using a CAW of mine. Could be me, could not be. Who knows? Who really knows what's going on? Like I said, I did expect it to behave a little bit like this. I don't know. I'd have to watch this one after it goes up on YouTube because I don't know what you guys are seeing right now. I mean, for me, it's moving pretty slowly. It's moving like at a snail's pace, but that's just because it's got like very high resolution, and when it gets to YouTube, it shouldn't be like that, which will be fine for I just got to deal with it here and maybe not commentate on the match so much and just kind of talk about things that are going on. Um, but yeah, so just to let you know, everything is coming soon. Just got to finish this off because I am kind of have a problem with not having closure, like Sheldon Cooper on that one episode of The Big Bang Theory, where he needs to have like the closure, and Amy Farrah Fowler helps him, tries to help him by like halting things right in the middle, like a game of tic tac toe. She erases it. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that's kind of how I am. I need closure. I need there to be an end to the season. I need there to be a Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, and those we will all condense into about 2 months. So it's not going to be quite like last time where I had it into like March. I was still doing 13, and then this whole deal happened where we I couldn't record for a while because PVR wasn't working, and for whatever reason, it just stopped working, and now I have to kind of go in there and play with it a little bit because um, it's really not behaving like I want it to. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so what I'm planning on doing is after Over the Limit, which is this Sunday. I will have that up for you soon. We actually are going to have a number one contenders match tonight for the undisputed title, Razor Ramon's undisputed title. It's going to be Andre the Giant taking on Hulk Hogan. The winner of that will face Razor Ramon in I don't know what kind of match it is yet. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. So I will have that one up for you. Shouldn't be a problem anymore now that the recording process is going better than I expected. I'm getting the videos. I'm getting being able to commentate them. It's not a big, it's not a big issue. It's really not. But I am glad this is working again because I enjoyed the stuff. It was a nice creative outlet for me. I really didn't have much to be creative with in the world. So this was a good, nice creative outlet for me. And my popularity isn't as big of a deal as just I just like doing this. It's kind of fun for me. But anyways, what was I gonna say? I don't remember what I was gonna say. So yeah, what I was gonna say was I was gonna do over the limit, and I think I only have a couple. I don't know. I think I'm gonna make a cut soon, so I should. I'm gonna presume talking about this in the next part of the video because. Right. So as we cut right into the middle part of this video here, I was going to tell you that my schedule for the rest of this season, I know that I was originally going to do like SummerSlam and bragging rights and Survivor Series and all that stuff. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is after Over the Limit, I'm going to have a month leading up to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which isn't going to it is going to be an actual pay-per-view this year. It's not just going to be the one match like I did last year. It was just the Royal Rumble match, which is going to be hard to work out because I don't know if I'm going to have like the champions be in the match or like anybody who's on the card be in the match. I didn't like in 2012 I didn't. And in 13 was just the match. It wasn't the actual pay-per-view. But the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is usually it's pretty fun to complete. Um, and then after that we're going to have a month up until WrestleMania, but in the middle of that month, we will have the Elimination Chamber. And it's not going to be a pay-per-view, it's just going to be the 2 Elimination Chamber matches. Halfway through the pay-per-view, we're just going to do that. And then, so, at the most, we'll have about 2 months. 2 months left. We can do 2 months. 2 months is fine. I'll try to upload stuff and record stuff as quickly as I possibly can. I don't even care if it gets views, because I just want to get it done. I want to start 2K15, because 2K15 seems like it's going to be I'll talk more about that later. I'll probably, in the first episode of 2K15 Universe Mode, I will talk about my thoughts on 2K15 and what kind of, because it doesn't seem like it's going to be the greatest game. Already, I've been playing through the Showcase mode, very similar to the WrestleMania mode in this game, WrestleMania mode, and it's the story with Cena and Punk. It's very hard to do, but I've been playing through the Shawn Michaels and Triple H story, and that I'm enjoying. I haven't started career mode yet. I plan on starting that after I finish this and I get to record it. Now, a lot of the aspects of the game are cool. Like, the roster is cool. I like how they're not trying to fit in a whole other generation of people. They got the WCW pack, and I think that's cool. And they've got, Booker T's coming back. I did not expect them to put Kevin Nash in the game again, but that's going to be pretty cool because we just cannot get rid of Kevin Nash. He will be included in next year's Universe mode. So that's kind of awesome. But, and everything else, I know, William Regal's coming back, and Booker T's coming back, and Goldust will be back, and Stone Cold definitely coming back for next year. That's going to be cool. We got guys we're going to have new faces like Finley and Bill DeMott and all the NXT rookies that are coming and all the other rookies, that are going to be really cool, and Lex Luger and Bam Bam Bigelow. I've always said Bigelow, but I think it was Bigelow. I'm going to say Bigelow because, that's how I'm going to do it. I don't think I didn't pre-order it, so I didn't get Sting, but I can always create Sting because Sting doesn't seem like it'd be too hard to create, even though I don't really care about having him in the game. I didn't get the Hulkamania package, so I'm not going to get Hulk Hogan. Well, that ended really abruptly. I didn't want it to end that fast. I didn't see that the video was coming to an end because it lagged on me, so I just, in the middle of my sentence talking about WWE 2K15, I was even getting a little bit excited about 2K15 because I was talking about my plans and all the things that I was gonna do. I was getting excited, I do not remember because I just had my girlfriend just called me and she wanted to talk about how her street's blocked off, and the nerd that I am, I told her that I had to go because I didn't tell her why. I didn't tell her that I was recording this stuff, but. I chose this over my girlfriend at the moment, so yeah. So we're watching Scott Steiner right now. Scott Steiner currently has a 1-0 record in SG Gaming League at the moment. I didn't write down their records at all, but I don't know. Scott Steiner, he's looking to make a bigger impact. He beat X-Pac last week. X-Pac's a veteran. He's been in a bunch of matches, close to I think 20 matches by now. No, this guy's a veteran. Tonight he will be taking on another veteran. As you can see, already in the ring is Eddie Guerrero. And This guy's no joke either. I mean, he's kind of a joke. He's been a joke lately, but he used to be in a semi-successful tag team, and he's been a singles competitor for about 2 seasons now, and he's been around since the very beginning. He's been in, he was in the first ever major event that we did in SG Gaming League was the Royal Rumble 2012, and he was in it. And I was actually, fun fact, I was actually gonna put Scott Steiner in it because they were all like, I put all the NWO guys in there, and I was about to put Scott Steiner in there. I remember I put X Pac and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Jeff Jarrett in there. And Scott Steiner, I was thinking about putting him in because he was kind of an NWO guy back in WCW and back in early WWE. And yeah, I was really thinking about it, but I ended up not for some reason. But and he just made his debut 2 seasons later against a guy who's been going for a very long time. Both guys, he's wrestled two veterans now, Eddie Guerrero and X Pac. And I think his name is Six Pac in this, but I never liked that name. I always liked X Pac because X Pac was a classic name. I know he used to be 123 Kid, and then he was Six Pac in WCW. I think he was Six Pac in WCW, and then TNA later he was Six Pac. And by later I'm talking like 2011, 2010. Not way back in the day, but back in the day, back far enough in the day. And then I started. God, I've been doing this for a while now. Ever since like 2011, I've been uploading videos for YouTube in this, for WWE games ever since 2011, and we're coming up on 2015. I'm uploading this on the 29th of January, 2014, and I was supposed to have the other one started by 2015, but that really didn't work out because I still got to do all the other stuff that I got to do, and I honestly can't wait. I think it's gonna be very cool. I think it's gonna be very, very cool. Doing this in the future. But yeah, and I plan on continuing. I mean, WWE 2K15. I know I say this all the time, but honestly, it's going to be longer than every other season. This season probably won't get over 20 weeks. Maybe it'll get over 20 weeks. No, actually, nah, probably won't get over 20 weeks. It'll at the most get to like 18, 19 weeks, not counting NXTs and not counting pay-per-views. You know how I do it by weeks. And I think WWE 12 got to 20 something weeks. WWE 13 got to um, up there, not 20 something, but it was like in the teens maybe. And this season's gonna be one of the shortest because I didn't even get anything done. I think I did 3 months of the last season. I did Extreme Rules. I did the month until Extreme Rules. I did the month until Over the Limit. I did the month until Money in the Bank. Then I did or like 2 weeks until WrestleMania. Then I fit Royal Rumble in somewhere. One of those, I fit it in somewhere. But yeah, this season, I mean, Over the Limit's in like a couple days, and I'll have that up for you by whenever I have it up. It won't be too long because I got to get it all done. But yeah, and then gonna have the Royal Rumble, and I'm excited for the month of the Royal Rumble because I'm gonna be doing like all the month until the Royal Rumble is always so much fun to do. It's like all has to do with like Rumble oriented things like qualifying matches and like qualifying matches and guys announcing that they're gonna be in the Rumble and like qualifying matches and qualifying matches. That's pretty much the Royal Rumble month, but it's always fun to see, who's going to be in it this year because the Royal Rumble, if you guys didn't know, I keep a lot of stats on the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is like some of my biggest stats. I have stats for every match. I have like all the information like they do on like they usually do when they keep track of like when the guy came in, who eliminated him, who he eliminated, and like what time he was, all those guys. I have all those stats recorded for both Royal Rumbles. Excuse me. And then I have total eliminations in a Rumble match, like the record for that, and like everybody who's eliminated people, and then I have like total time spent for everybody, like for both Royal Rumbles. And ironically, the guy who holds the record for both of those is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin has a total of 6 eliminations in both Royal Rumble matches, which is pretty good. That's an average of 3 match, which is awesome. And he has the record for most time spent, most combined time, which is, let's go see, 22 minutes and 40 seconds, which is awesome. Very cool that Stone Cold is going to be, um, Stone Cold is, oh, I didn't realize that video ended either. But I guess Eddie Guerrero won by kind of an upset. We didn't really think he was going to win, but he did. Beat Scott Steiner, halting Scott's momentum just a little bit. But, oh well, he'll be back. And Eddie Guerrero getting his first win in a little while. Actually, that's not true. He got his first win against Sin Cara when his career was on the line. But that was like Extreme Rules. But anyways, this match, if you guys haven't been following SG Gaming League, Rick Rude versus Yokozuna has been a little bit of a feud lately. I was about to put a cutscene in there, like, a promo, but I ended up not. Rick Rude and Yokozuna have been having a little bit of a feud lately. And in the last match, after Yokozuna was the victor, Mr. Fuji actually attacked Yokozuna. He was his manager. Mr. Fuji, well-known manager of Yokozuna for almost his entire career. And he attacked Yokozuna with a clothesline, took him right down. And now we're seeing him accompanying Rick Rude to the match, or to the ring. He is Rick Rude's manager now, that's rude. It's pretty rude of him. And that's, it's something that you just don't do it. You just don't do that to a man. It's very, very filthy, very dirty. Something that you just don't do. You just can't do it. But anyways, in the last match, what was I just gonna I was gonna say something about the last match, or maybe I was gonna say something about this match. I was gonna say something about this match. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see who comes out the victor in this one. This is about to be, I was about to save this for the pay-per-view to have it be like the dark match, but then I had another idea for a dark match, and it was a lot better of an idea. So you're just gonna have to see what that is. And I've just been looking at these Royal Rumble stats. I haven't looked at them in a while, and they're very they're really they're interesting. Cause like all the guys, like I have combined time spent in a Royal Rumble up right now, and it's like, it's, oops, somebody's home, I guess. It's really pretty cool, because we've got I have the total guys who have ever been in a Royal Rumble. There have been 66 men competing in both Royal Rumbles in history, and a lot of these guys, I mean, because there's only been 2 Royal Rumbles, the times aren't like really big. Stone Cold is the only guy who has a time in the 20s for combined. And that's because he set the record for longest time in the Royal Rumble in 2012 when he lasted 17 minutes. And then, there have been guys who are pretty consistent in both, like Booker T, who unfortunately will not be joining us in this Royal Rumble. I don't think he will, unless he comes in as a surprise entrant. But I think I've spoken to him, and I think that he's just gonna lay low for this one. He's just gonna watch it. Maybe he'll be an analyst for us. That'll be pretty cool. Cactus Jack had the one really long run when he set the record for most eliminations. He lasted 12 minutes and 50 seconds in 2013. And then another guy who's consistent is Randy Orton. He's been in both Royal Rumbles so far, and he's pulled pretty good times in both of them. Same with guys like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, kind of, or Diesel, and Razor Ramon, as we call him now. Scott Hall, unfortunately, if he's a champion right now, so if he doesn't, if he defends his title, which he's on a roll. It looks like he might defend his title, but if he does, then he's not going to be able to participate in the Royal Rumble, which would mean we're not going to see a second win out of him. But that's something we're gonna cross for after this Sunday. We'll see how that works out. But if Scott Hall's not in this Royal Rumble, then he's not in the Royal Rumble, and that's okay. That's all right. But anyways, just gonna get into this match here: Yokozuna versus Rick Rude. Actually, you know what? I'm really not gonna get into the match because I know that because it's so slow moving, then it's really not gonna be worth it. Like, it's not gonna be worth commentating because everything that I'm seeing right now in slow speed, you guys have already seen like probably a minute and a half ago. So not really worth it. But I'll still try my best to keep kind of relevant about the match. I'll just talk about later tonight. We do have Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, and that is the number one contenders match to see who will possibly decide Scott Hall's fate at the Royal Rumble and his fate as the undisputed champion. Scott Hall has worked his entire career to be the world champion. I mean, when he came into the company in 2012, that's what he said he was going to do. Then he won the Royal Rumble, and he was unsuccessful against CM Punk at WrestleMania. Wow, that was a while ago. I remember watching that match. Remember, I wanted Scott Hall to win, but he didn't. CM Punk retained his title. But well, it was a while ago, and I haven't seen CM Punk in a while, and I wonder what he's doing now. He's doing something. I mean, I do know what he's doing now. CM Punk, if you guys didn't know, he has been signed to the UFC as a he doesn't know what weight class he's in yet. He doesn't know who he wants the first fight to be or what camp he wants to train under or you know anything like that. But he signed with the UFC, and after leaving WWE, and there's a lot of mixed emotions about it. It's getting people talking. People are saying he doesn't deserve to be there because he's never had a fight, and just because he's a big name doesn't mean he doesn't have to work for it. But it kind of does mean that. I mean, CM Punk's a draw. He's going to get a lot of attention. And that's exactly what the UFC wants. No publicity is bad publicity, or no publicity is bad publicity. Yeah, I guess I said that right. Yeah, but you know, uh, that's true. It's true in a lot of ways. People CM Punk wants to get people talking, and he does want to. He wants to be in the UFC. He said in an interview with ESPN that it wasn't just like a bucket list thing for him, like it's a one and done. He wants to make this a career of his, and he wants to go as far as he can in the UFC, and that's cool. I respect that. I respect that he's got dreams, but I do feel like he should get a few fights under him before he fights in the UFC. And like some people compare him to Brock Lesnar for when he had a fight with Min Soo Kim, and then he went to the UFC because. But you got to remember, Brock Lesnar is a former NCAA Division I All-American, and and like in wrestling, and that's end of itself is WWE would have or UFC would have hired him without his background in the WWE, but just because of his accomplishments in wrestling and because he's a big monster of a guy. I mean, you see him in Universe mode. He's our champion right now. He's been champion for over 170 days. That's huge. He is the longest reigning, not the longest reigning champion in history because Kane has him beat right now. But with his Intercontinental title reign of around 224 days, I think was the longest ever. And yeah, so we're seeing that. But CM Punk, but what was I just gonna say? Yeah, Brock Lesnar, he's a huge man, and he was even UFC champion, UFC heavyweight champion. It takes a lot, even if CM Punk were to come right now, he wouldn't be champion. You can't, he doesn't have it in him to be champion. But Brock Lesnar, he was champion. He beat the champion, and that's a lot. That's a bragging right. I mean, like getting a title shot in the first place was like, many people would be like, you know what, maybe he doesn't deserve it, but he won. If he didn't deserve it, he wouldn't have won, which he did. But and I think that's pretty crazy. I really do. I think it's crazy that he was able to do it, and that's about it. I think I like that. I like that. CM Punk's got his aspirations and everything. But let me see what's going on with the recording right now. Alright, you guys, it's time for our incredibly slow main event of the evening. Well, slow for me. It probably won't be slow for you guys. It is going to be Andre the Giant taking on Hulk Hogan. Both these guys are they're pretty they're up there in the rankings for this year, for this season on Legends. There aren't a whole lot of standouts on this brand, unfortunately, but there still are there's still a couple guys who are like above the rest, kind of shining a little more, and that would be Andre, just because he beat Razor in the past weeks, and Hulk Hogan, just because I think he also did beat Razor, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Hulk Hogan just seems like a worthy contender, and Andre seems like, well, because he just beat him. But Andre, unfortunately, he's only 2-3 right now. He's only been in 5 matches, and Hulk Hogan's only 2-2. So not great records for either of these guys, but hardly anybody remains undefeated besides my man Ambrosius, current Intercontinental Champion, and I think that he will defend his title against Wade Barrett at Over the Limit. So that is my prediction, just because he's the man, and I will be in his corner at Over the Limit this Sunday. I'll be there, and yeah, so we're just gonna see how that works. But one of these guys will be wrestling Razor Ramon for his Undisputed title, and the Undisputed Championship has been around for a while. It's been around since the very beginning. First ever title holder was The Undertaker, and it's made its way all the way over to Razor Ramon, and some guys like this, some newcomers like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. We call them newcomers because they are, but in reality they're looked at as legends because they've been around in real life for a while, but. The newcomers to my universe mode, some guys have been around, like Razor has been around for 2 more seasons than these guys have. He's got a lot more experience than both these guys, just being honest. And even though, they're both big names for wrestling in the 80s, Andre and Hulk Hogan, they didn't wrestle for SG Gaming League until 2014. So, Andre the Giant, I mean, he's passed away. Most of the guys in this season of Universe Mode, unfortunately, are passed away. I mean, there have been 3 guys so far in there are 4 guys actually this episode who are dead in real life. I mean, Kurt Hennig, Eddie Guerrero, Yokozuna, and Andre the Giant. And is Mr. Fuji dead? I feel like Mr. Fuji's not dead. I feel like he's still alive. I'm not sure how he's still going, but I think he's still alive. Let me go check that real quick. Is Mr. Fuji dead? I'm gonna have to say he is. But I feel like we would have heard about it. Let's see. Maybe he's just living a quiet little life somewhere. That's nothing wrong with that. I'm going on Wikipedia. That's always reliable. And I do mean that. I see nothing wrong with Wikipedia. I don't know, a lot of people do. A lot of people think it's unreliable, but personally I really don't. Mr. Fuji. I mean, stuff, it can't get on Wikipedia unless it's like approved by the people who do it, right? Oh, he is still alive, and he's not even that old. He's 79 right now. That's he's not even that old. I mean, he's old, but like, he's not old enough to be dead. Wow, he's okay, awesome. Mr. Fuji is still alive. I didn't think he was, but he is still alive. I think he's like, I think he's no, I think he's close to death, just because like during the Hall of Fame in like 2007 he was in a wheelchair and like he couldn't speak, but I think it's just because he really just could not speak English well. But oh, he's won a lot of titles. I didn't realize how much he actually wrestled for WWE. Like, he actually wrestled. He was WWE. He was a tag team champion 5 times. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, let's see. I want to see what he's doing now. Like, what exactly is he doing? Did he make any? Has he made any appearances? Literally the only reason that I'm not like, the only reason why I'm not commentating the match and why I'm like kind of doing my own thing over here is because it's very slow and it's really just not non-cooperative for me. But I'll get back to it towards the end. Yeah, Fuji, Fuji's not doing anything right now. I'd like to, I wish I could see him now. I'm actually, just because, you guys can just watch the match, I am going to look for a picture of him. Maybe I'll put it at the end of the video, just, Mr. Fuji. 2013. Oh, ooh. Oh, that is... Ooh, that's... I don't know how I feel about that. Alright, well... Yeah... Oh well, I'll let you know. I'll show you the picture. I'll put it up there at the end. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Oh well, Mr. Fuji.
This is what WrestleMania is all about, ladies and gentlemen. The passion, you're leaving your body and soul in the ring.
Oh, what else we got going on here? I was looking up. I just like started reading something on Mr. Fuji, so I had to cease commentary just for a second. But yeah, it's frustrating because I can't just sit here and commentate the match when it's like, I know that it's not at the same time frame as you're watching it right now. Nobody's gonna watch this far into the video anyways. So, oh well, oh well. Hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas. By the way, I should probably mention that for whoever is listening. I had a pretty nice one myself, and I hope everybody's enjoying themselves over this holiday season. I haven't been able to keep in touch with you guys too much. Not that I really keep in touch with anybody anymore, much less, I just sort of, I come on every now and then, get on YouTube, get on your screens, and share my feelings on what's going on now, and in WWE and in real life and in UFC and sports and all kinds of stuff. I'll mention that, but yeah, unfortunately, not a whole lot to talk about today since I can't really call a match. We've got Andre the Giant. Just because I'm looking at him on the screen right now, Andre the Giant he would be, I think, our largest champion in history. I mean, he's the largest man in history, but by far the largest undisputed champion in history. I think second largest was like Undertaker. Undertaker was 6'10", which is crazy. Wonder if I think Undertaker played. I think he used to play college basketball actually. Don't quote me on that one, but I think he may have played college basketball. I know Kane did, and I know Matt Morgan played in the NCAA. He was actually like in a March Madness bracket. But yeah, I feel like a lot of those guys played. Like, a lot of the tall guys must have played basketball. I know Kane was actually pretty good. Kane played basketball. I think Kane played football too. I don't think he ever wrestled. I don't think CM Punk ever even wrestled in high school either. And it's weird that he wants to be a fighter now. I mean, he knows Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I know that.